Hey everyone, it's Moonbow here, and welcome back to Scrap Mechanic City. This time, I'm very excited to show you guys the Moontropolis City Bank that I've finally made. It's loaded full of awesome stuff. It takes up this entire floor, actually, so it's really big. It has a little bit of the second floor above it as well, as you can see in the front. It has a whole bunch of features, and it also has a little bit of an interesting kind of obstacle course puzzle at the very bottom of it that I'm going to show you guys shortly. So let's go and have a look directly in the front here. As you can see, I put a little bit of a dollar sign there to show that it is a bank. And on this side of the bank, you can actually see I've designed some type of little ATMs with some dollar signs, and I thought that it was really neat that it kind of made it feel like a video game, like that wasn't Scrap Mechanic, because of these like kind of floating symbols of dollars, and it made me imagine different types of floating symbols that I could do around the city. So if you guys have any suggestions for like floating symbols, I think that would be pretty neat. Here you can see I have the same type of design of ATM, except it doesn't have the dollar sign above it, so this is kind of like the indoor version of it. The outdoor ones actually, as you can see right here, you can see that they have easy kind of placement around the city, and they look really nice, especially when you're like driving around them and stuff like that. So I'm really happy with the way that it's kind of turning out as far as details around the entire city go. Over here, it's kind of just like a document desk where you'd probably sign some forms or something like that to be ready to bring them to this front counter right here. So you have like a bit of a queuing area where you can line up and go to different windows, and they can help you at each one with whatever banking needs you have. And over in this corner, it's just kind of like a lounging area. As you can see, there's a camera up there, and there's a camera over there, so there's some cameras around the entire building, actually. You'll see it's pretty secure, and that kind of plays into the little kind of puzzle that I have. So one of my favorite things that I have, not only is this place huge, I can show you guys quickly just how big it is. It goes all over the place, but my favorite thing, and it took me the longest to make for the bank actually, was a security system. So you might not really be able to see it, but this is kind of like the front entrance of the bank, and everything else goes through these two doors essentially, as well as these windows, because you can actually jump in through this window as well. But there's a security system, so in case of an emergency, and you're the one working behind the desk and you have to push the button, you quickly press it, and you'll actually see, boom, you're safe. There's a huge alarm that's going on, actually, and you can hear this alarm from like 2 blocks away. I swear, this alarm is so loud. I put many tote box heads along the bottom of the building, actually, but they eventually do wear off. And you can actually just press the button again, and it'll bring the entire thing down. And I've actually rigged a button on the other side so that you can actually get a better view of all the doors being shut in the emergency situation. So let's go have a look at that. So when you push the button, it actually shuts these 3 entrances that I mentioned earlier. So let's get a nice view of it. But let's see what this does. So as you can see, there's bars that come up from this entrance, which is kind of the security entrance that has a couple of sensors just for the fun of it. This whole entire front of the building is completely shut away, so you can't even have access to the front windows anymore. And then the office side of the building is completely shut off as well. So it's a full security kind of shutdown. I guess you could say the bank goes on lockdown, essentially, minus this front entrance. I just don't put doors on the front entrances because they tend to add just more lag for no reason. But I thought that was a really neat thing. It took me a little while to get it all working and looking good, but it's a cool feature that you can have, and you can press it from the inside, and you just kind of feel really safe in your bank. So I'm going to quickly head over to this little kind of office side of the building. Over here you can see it's kind of like a little, not necessarily a break room, but a little quick spot you can grab a drink from the cooler, as well as soak in a bit of sun, the little sunlight that this building actually does get. I thought that was a nice kind of quaint room. Over here there's just kind of generic offices with some repeat furniture and stuff that I was using in the City Hall build. Over here, it's pretty much the same thing. I decided to make this office a little bit bigger. It has a whole bunch of extra storage there, so I'd imagine this is probably more of the accounting kind of side of a bank, perhaps. Before we go downstairs on the elevator that I made, I'm gonna show you guys, this is kind of the bank ATM and teller setup. So as you can see, I kind of put some gold bars here and some gold coins and what could be kind of like money boxes or even kind of stacked bills, I could imagine. This is really neat, actually. I decided to add a cart that you can actually hop into and push around, and it can actually roll you around. It doesn't really do much other than that, but as you can see, I kind of use the bolts, so I would say that this is like a money cart, essentially. And if I actually run quickly into the area of the front of the bank here, you can see that there is one of these kind of bill stacks put directly into the cart, which I thought was a neat little bit of detail to add to the bank. It makes it a little bit more realistic, I'd say. So proceeding over this way through the bank, this is the lunch area for the employees. I added a bit of kind of wall art here. As you can see, that's the microwave design. The update added quite a few interesting pipe pieces that I took advantage of in quite a few of the recent builds that I've been doing. They add a lot of detail without really worrying too much about kind of big, clunky objects. So I really like that. Over here, this is just the bathroom area. I put an AC unit up there. But these are just two generic bathrooms. It doesn't matter who uses which one. Just a little bit of detail inside each one. And if you go over this way, you'll see that there's actually a little kind of a hidden staircase here. And I wanted to kind of make this the ominous staircase to the big boss's room. So if you head over this way, you can see it's kind of just this dark room, a little bit of lighting above this massive table. And as you can see, there's not much in it at the moment. There's a water cooler here, and this massive table with one head honcho chair, and a few little storage units there, with a whole bunch of money on the table. So no doubt, whoever's sitting in this chair has a whole bunch of money in this city. But here's some more of those pipe pieces, actually, that I used for this kind of studio setup lighting, which I thought actually looks pretty elegant in a way. But that's the dark, ominous hallway to the big boss office. So the last thing I'm going to show you guys actually is the basement now. So there's a bit of an upstairs. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff down here with the alarm system and defense mechanisms as well. And I decided to make, this is like the first elevator I've ever made. So as you can see, you press the button and the bars go up, and then you can just easily hop into this elevator. There's a sensor here to kind of just, you know, pretend that it's actually detecting that you're actually supposed to be going into this basement. But this is the way to the vault. So as you can see, it's an easy little elevator ride to the basement floor. The vault is here, and I'm gonna shut it so you guys can see how it just rolls around. I put an arm system with a rotating bearing that actually spins 90 degrees to make it look like it's rolling back away from the entire thing, which I thought turned out pretty cool. I used one of the timers just as a light indicator to show when it fills up, the door is shut completely, and when you open the door, the timer will completely empty itself. Down here, I also added another money cart and maybe kind of like a computer desk here for vault entries, and another security camera, of course. And a little kind of nifty thing here was you can actually hit that and spin it and then open it, and I thought it was kind of like the cool vault kind of effect that you have when you're opening one. And this, folks, is the mini game that I was talking about, kind of like a puzzle for you guys. I'm gonna describe what it is, and I want you guys to give it a shot. The world download is gonna be in the description, of course, with the bank added and this little mini game. I'm gonna describe it to you guys, and you guys can give it a shot. Let me know what you thought of it. Was it too easy? Was it too hard? Did it make any sense? I'm gonna describe it now, though. So, the goal of this room, of the bank vault in Moontropolis, is you have to get from this side of the diamond all the way to the other side of the diamond here and disconnect that bottom block right there and pick this diamond up on your lift. The challenge here, though, is that once you step on this red block, you're not supposed to be sensed by any of these sensors at all. So that's the only hint I can give you guys, is that at one point you have to jump on the diamond. But as you can see, there's not really much you can go without triggering one of these sensors, but there might be multiple ways, I'm not sure. I have found a couple ways to get through this, but if you duck around, if you jump, if you get from this side to the other and remove the diamond, then you win. So I hope you guys enjoyed the bank addition to the city. I'm trying to get as much of it done as I possibly can. I'm gonna add some more vehicles as well as more building structures and the cool kind of stuff to this building. Actually, I have a few ideas, but if you guys have any more ideas for the city, then be sure to put them in the comments, guys. I love reading them, and I like being challenged as well, so if you guys want to see certain things in this city or any other series of mine, then be sure to let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, then hit that like button and subscribe for endless scrap mechanics.